It's early days, but after Mr. Trump's election victory and big gains for the Republicans overall, took control of the Senate, for example, apparently the number of Americans looking for jobs in Canada spiked. That's according to the employment website Indeed. We're joined now by Brendon Bernard, senior economist at the hiring lab at Indeed.com. So, Brendon, we did see a spike. Apparently some Americans having misgivings about a Trump presidency.
It's not the first time we've seen American job seekers react to election night news. This is actually the third election in a row where, as the results roll in on Tuesday, on the first Tuesday of November, we see Americans jumping to start search for work in Canada. So to put that in like concrete terms, about on the typical kind of day recently, about 1 to 2 out of every 1,000 U.S. job searches were for jobs in Canada. By the end of election night earlier this week, that share had spiked up to 2%. And it started yesterday morning up at around 1% of total job searches. So a definite reaction among some American job seekers to the news. But as like I said, this isn't the first time we've seen it happen. One night doesn't make a trend. So we'll see where things go from here when it comes to actual migration decisions.
Yeah, because I mean, we've heard this, haven't we? I'm moving to Canada if so-and-so gets elected. I wonder, do many people follow through?
Yeah, it's a good question. And, you know, just thinking about it, I think if there maybe is one group that might be most likely to follow through on some kind of thing, it would be among Canadians in the U.S. Right now. It's not so easy for people to just uproot their lives, you know, leave their social networks and families for jobs across a different border. But, you know, among Canadians in the U.S., that may be one group, a little more where the ties back to Canada are a little more there. It's interesting, you know, so the jump in election night search is not totally surprising, especially given the results of the night. But we also looked at the types of jobs that got the most clicks following election night. And it definitely seems like the types of jobs that were probably most distressed from Tuesday's results. So in particular, we saw large jumps in the share of U.S. clicks on Canadian postings for jobs in education, community and social services, scientific research and development, as well as a range of healthcare related jobs. So potentially, you know, a sign of kind of like the different political leanings across different occupations.
Let's turn to jobs broadly. We are going to get Canadian employment figures tomorrow. What is your feeling? Is the job market in Canada weakening?
Yeah, it's been weakening pretty steadily over the past year. Really, comparing job growth to population growth in the labor force survey, there's been 1 month this year when Canadian job growth outpaced population growth. So it's been a pretty consistent trend. It hasn't been I would say the scale of the pace of deterioration hasn't been as severe as we've seen in previous recessions, but it's still been trending in the wrong direction. And until we kind of see I think the broader macro economy get into stronger gear, till we see, I think, employer hiring appetite start to really rebound. It's been in decline for 2 years now. It's tough to predict any kind of like change in trend.
And one thing we've heard, of course, is that public service hiring, Mr. Trudeau's government has come under criticism for growing the public service by almost 40%, has been propping up the job market. Is that an accurate assessment? Has the private sector been weak compared to public sector hiring?
So public sector hiring definitely has led the way. If we look at kind of like job growth over the past 5 years, public sector has grown a lot. It's not just like federal government, though. It's also healthcare and education adding a lot of jobs. And then kind of like, and so those have been among the strongest sectors in terms of employment growth over kind of like where we were pre-pandemic to today. But they're not the only strong areas. In the private sector, it's been much more mixed. So we've got, There are actually a few areas of the private sector that have kept up with public sector. In some cases, outpaced it. So the industry that's grown the fastest over the past 5 years since February 2020 is professional, scientific, and technical services. So even faster than public administration, which is government or healthcare, education. It says tech, but it also includes engineering, other white collar jobs like marketing, accounting, legal services. This has been another stand up, as well as the financial and insurance industry, also adding a lot of jobs. So you got some areas of the private sector that have kept up with really strong growth in the public sector. And then you have a bunch of areas in the private sector that have been pretty weak. Lower paying services have been pretty weak. The number of people working, for instance, in food and accommodation, as well as retail, is a bit below what it was pre-pandemic. And we also seen really weak numbers in terms of self-employment. Self-employment still down substantially from where it was. And I think that's a bit of a concerning sign about the health of the private sector in general, that just kind of that the number of people working as self-employed has been quite weak over the past few years.
Brendon, thank you very much. It's always great to hear from you. Brendon Bernard, senior economist